my name is Kylie and I am one of the owners of Perryman's Bakery. I used to work in a bank with small business and I was really interested in more of the operational side, so this was a perfect opportunity to be able to do that and get a bit more flexibility in my work. This is a heritage listed building and was built in 1853. So the former owners of Perryman's Bakery were Neil and Judy Perryman, and they were the third generation to have the business. One of the changes that we did make was kind of focusing on having ethical products, so trying to get as much things locally as possible and using the butcher next door to provide all our meats, so that's been some really great changes.
My name's Glenn and I'm one of the bakers here at Perryman's. Been here for 3 years now. We get underway at 4 o'clock in the morning. We roll in and that's all systems go. Yeah, it's cool. I really enjoy working here. The management is good and a couple of old fellas chugging away here, working together is pretty good. Probably taking some of the products home, that's one of the best parts of it. And probably just that whole idea that you're making things that people enjoy eating is one of the better parts too. You can sort of walk away with your head held high a bit, so that's pretty good. I enjoy that part of it.
My name's Rosalie and I've been working here in the front of the shop for about 2 years. We get about 300 or so. Feels like a lot. More of the hot food, so I know in winter we do about 6,000 pasties a week. Yeah, I love it. You get to meet lots of nice people and it's just really enjoyable. Anything else today?
I'm Anastasia. I've only been working here maybe 3 months now, but it's a nice little family environment here and it's good fun. Yeah, working in a bakery. My favourite part about the job, I think just working with amazing food everywhere. Also the customers are quite friendly.
My name's Andrew and I'm one of the bakers here at Perryman's Bakery. The core of what we still do is Perryman's traditional family recipes, which is mostly the pasties, the plain pies and sausage rolls. And over the last 4 or 5 years we've been slowly adding to that to try and put a new range of products in to attract a new clientele as well as facilitate for the existing clientele. Baking's been carried out for 130 years on this site. It's part of they have a North Adelaide tourist walk. It gives you a little pamphlet and everything. You can walk around and see all the history of North Adelaide and how it's developed. It's got all these little plaques all over the different buildings. The pasty recipe that we're using at the moment, as far as I know, is about 70 years old. Much the same with the gingerbread. They're two of the Perryman staples. They've always been what they call an Adelaide institution, the Perryman's pasties. And the lunchtime pies, which were just the small ones I was just getting out there before. They're a bit smaller than most people's product, but it's always been so you can have a couple of items instead of just having one big item, so they can try as much of their range as possible. Just all the ingredients we use here at Perryman's, we use free-range eggs, free-range chicken, organic Dorper lamb, and all the veg comes in fresh every day. When I first started working here, the gentleman I was working for had bought the bakery off Perryman's, and he tried to change a few of the products, make it more productive, so that he incorporated into some other businesses that he already had. And there was a general bit of a revolt because people wanted everything to be exactly how it's been for so long.
I think it's always been consistently good for as long as I can remember.
I come here often because it's well known. It's a very old bakery that's been in Adelaide for a long period of time, and their produce is quite different from what you would get in other areas, and I really enjoy it.
Perryman's have got the best pasties in South Australia, and they make little ones for the school children next door. Now, my grandparents lived in 10th Street, just here down the road, so my parents, and we used to come down here and eat all the time, and we still come back here to buy pies and pasties. They're the best pasties ever, and they make the best German strudel cake in Adelaide too.
My name's Neil Perryman. I'm the third generation of Perryman that started Perryman's Bakery in 10th Street, North Adelaide. My grandfather had a bakery in Port Pirie and he came down, bought the bakery in 1925, I think. When he bought that bakery, there were actually 3 bakeries on the corner of 10th Street and Margaret Street. 90 years later, there's just one bakery there. So he started the bakery mainly as a bread bakery. Then my father took over, and at that same time there was a big bread bakery 1 block away from us called the Golden Crust. Eventually Tip Top bought them out. Tip Top wanted to take over the bread rounds because bread was delivered in those days. So my father sold the bread round and concentrated on pies and pasties and small goods, things like that. My grandmother, she was German. She was from Harndorf. Some of the recipes were from the German side of the family. There was the German coffee cake. The gingerbread is her recipe. We started making smaller sized pies and pasties because the school was next door. The school kids couldn't eat a pie and a pasty, so my grandfather thought, well, let's make half-size ones, then they can have one of each. When I grew up, we lived on the actual premises of the bakery. When I left school, I sort of went and did something else for a couple of years, but then I kind of enjoyed living and working on the same premises. The business was sort of expanding a bit, getting busier, bigger, so it was an easy decision for me, really. I had to make a decision because of the business I'm in now. We had developed the gingerbread baby. In fact, now we're selling them all around Australia and to a few places overseas. So I realised after the gingerbread babies became pretty popular, I wasn't going to be able to do both properly because we had to set up this facility down here for the gingerbread babies. It was something completely new for me, selling our product interstate and overseas. I'd never done that before, and that was really exciting for me. I thought, no, let's do the gingerbread babies properly so I can devote all my time to that. Yeah, so in the end it was a sad day when we sold it, but there was a sort of an exciting time ahead too, so yeah. Oh yeah, they buy the gingerbread babies from us, so I drop them up there every time they want them, and I generally grab a pasty while I'm up there. So there was a previous owner before Kylie had it. He was only there a year. Kylie's sort of, I think, doing the right thing, getting it back to the way it was, I think. But the pasty still tasted pretty good. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm glad you enjoyed your lunch. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.
Yum.